You open your laptop. The task is sitting right there. You have every intention of starting, and somehow you find it completely impossible to begin. Instead, you check your phone. You reorganize your desk. You suddenly, urgently need to go get a glass of water. Here's the paradox. You fully understand the high stakes. You feel a flash of genuine dread just thinking about opening the document. You are fully capable, fully aware, and completely frozen. Standard advice frames this as a lack of discipline. Society calls it laziness. So you double down on willpower to force yourself into motion. Except willpower drains quickly, and as you're about to see, it is the wrong tool for this job. Task paralysis is a biological mechanism that leaves a physical signature inside your brain. In 2018, researchers at Ruhr University Bochum put 264 people into an MRI scanner to look for that signature. Researchers began with behavioral surveys to separate chronocerters from chronic procrastinators, then cross-referenced those results directly against physical brain scan data. The scans of the people who struggled to start tasks revealed one specific anatomical region was measurably larger, the amygdala. Your amygdala is the brain's ancient threat detector. Its primary job is to sound an alarm the second something feels risky, unpleasant, or difficult. Your brain categorizes a modern, non-lethal task, like a college essay or a spreadsheet, as a physical danger that must be escaped. The brain has a countermeasure to this alarm called the dorsal anterior cingulate cortex, or dACC, your neurological brake pedal. In a healthy circuit, the dACC receives the alarm signal, assesses the threat level, and overrides the panic response to force action. But the Bochum study found that in people who struggle to start tasks, the physical wiring connecting these two regions is measurably weaker. The connection frays and the signal drops, leaving the threat alarm to pulse indefinitely. Internally, this creates a localized tug-of-war, where your regulatory system lacks the signal strength to shut off the amygdala's alarm. This is a mechanical battle against a faulty internal circuit. Brute force willpower fails against this mechanism, because willpower relies on a prefrontal cortex that is already being overpowered by an active, unsuppressed alarm system. A dopamine imbalance compounds the problem. To initiate physical movement, your brain requires the anticipation of a reward. This model illustrates the friction. A difficult task is a steep uphill climb with a delayed payoff. A digital distraction is a frictionless downhill slope, offering instant dopamine rewards. Willpower cannot sustain a fight against an overloaded amygdala and a severe dopamine deficit. Bypassing this broken circuit requires 3 tactical shifts. First, move the decision-making process out of the immediate present. By deciding your exact start time hours in advance, you remove the moment of choice where the amygdala typically hijacks your behavior. Second, reduce the physical scope of the first step. You aren't sitting down to write an essay. You are sitting down to open a document. A tiny action falls below the threshold that triggers your threat detector. Third, solve the anticipation deficit through temptation bundling. Pair the high-friction task with a high dopamine reward, like a specific drink or playlist, and only allow yourself that reward while working. Your brain tissue reshapes itself through neuroplasticity, when a diagram of the neural pathway again. Because of neuroplasticity, every time you successfully bypass the alarm and initiate a task, the weak connection between the amygdala and the dACC physically reinforces and thickens into a reliable circuit. Task paralysis is a structural weakness, but one you can systematically rebuild. By using targeted, microscopic actions to outsmart your threat response today, you are physically constructing a highly functional, entirely different brain for tomorrow.